All right, everyone. Welcome along to round 15 of the United Drivers League here on F1 2018. My name is Racer X. I'll be commentating, the only one commentating for today's race. So today we are at one of the very few tracks on the figure eight, in figure eight style on the F1 calendar, the Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka International Circuit. It's looking to be a pretty good race. Go with some storylines for you guys just real fast, as there was a little bit of changes to the results from last week's Bahrain Grand Prix. So Honos was your race winner, but he had a 3-second time penalty because of swerving, which is clearly against the rules in any race. You can't break out of a slipstream by swerving, so he got a 3-second penalty. So Pecan actually got his very first win because of that. And that allowed Snipper also to get to second place as well, with Honos going to third. Now, there's some new faces. One new face, actually, I can recognize, is Easy Hurricane. This is his debut. He'll be driving in the Mercedes today with Lucas. Now, Lucas, if you remember, was on a race ban from last week. So he served that for last week's race, and he will be racing today back in the Mercedes seat. Looks like to be an overcast race as well. So we'll get the track map up for you guys, and we'll get up to speed. Now the standings. So this is what the standings look like for the moment. Snipperpig is currently on top by 57 points over Pecan with 224 points compared to Pecan's 167. Breezy's in third, down by 3 against Pecan, and then Honos right behind Breezy with 159 points, so 5 points separate. Now, here's a little bit of a scenario. Snipper could actually claim the title today if everything goes his way, meaning let's say if he finished first or second, and he has to have Pecan, Breezy, and Honos have a bad race by either not getting points or finish in the bottom top 10, then Snipper could win the UDL championship for the driver's side. Now the constructor side is extremely close. Alfa Romeo is currently in the way with 297 points compared to Ferrari's 289, which Ferrari is in second, and then behind them, in it somehow, is McLaren with 273. So the gap between Ferrari and Alfa Romeo is 8 points. And it's the same, and from Ferrari and McLaren, it's 16 points. So yeah, it's pretty close in the constructor side. So it's pretty much anybody's game for the top 3 between Alfa, Ferrari, and McLaren. So let's go ahead and give you a little bit of rundown of the Suzuka circuit. I'll ride along with X Breezy as he's coming around the final turns now. This circuit is 3.6 miles long, 5.8 kilometers, 18 corners, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. You only have one DRS zone, which is right where Breezy is on the front stretch. We go into the first couple of corners now. It's pretty hard bank turns into the first 2 corners, and then we get into probably the most rhythm, this section which requires a lot of rhythm, the S section, the uphill S section. Mainly you don't want to rub those curves. It could definitely kill the momentum as we go into the uphill part of the Dunlop curve. This is also the end of the first sector coming along here. Now this is probably the more technical area, the downhill area. Now this, you don't want to go a little bit outside like you saw what Breezy just did. That can be a little bit tricky. Now we go into the hairpin. Of course, you want to dig into the inside part of the curve. Don't go a little bit off, otherwise you will get a bad exit. Now we go into the spoon curve. Now spoon curve is a pretty tricky corner. It's normally has side-by-side racing, but it doesn't always work most of the time. Breezy, I think, he might have aborted his lap because I think he might have messed up the exit of spoon, and he seems to slow down for some reason. I think he's just laying by one of the McLarens, and then he's got, looks like, Snipper behind him. So let's just ride along with Snipper then, I guess. Oh, but he's invalidated. Okay, but This is 130R, the sweeping left-hander, followed by the last two chicanes. Of course, you remember this is where Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna had their moments from the late 1980s, of course, fighting for the championship. Breezy 145.4, but I'm sure he's going to have to do another time, obviously. So let's see. Let's follow with. Looks like one of the Williams car. No, actually, let's say Red Bull. No, money's invalidated, but Shawson gets a lap down. 29.8 to kick off the qualifying session. Next looks like to be Sinister Owl, and he goes 133.4. Lucas 130.7. Next is one of the McLarens. I think that would be Honos, as he's coming around to do a 131.1. Next is, looks like Kikon, and a 28.6, putting up a statement lap, and he is up on provisional pole over 1.2 seconds ahead of Shawson. Next looks like to be Wade County. I think he's raced at least, I think 1 or 2 times if I'm correct. So I think this is either his second or third race. But let's see what he can do on the medium tires. Oh wait, oh, 245. Okay, he must have messed up pretty bad, so he's going to have to do another lap. Next looks like to be, looks like Dreamsy. Dreamsy comes across, and he does 130.0 on the hards. Snipper goes into provisional pole with a 128.4. Of course, Snipper was last year's winner for the Japanese Grand Prix, along with Space Hero finishing in second and Sinister Owl, his current teammate, finishing in third. And it looks like Money's, I don't know if he had a moment where he just slowed down. But okay. Next looks like to be, I think that might be Easy Hurricane. Oh, he's doing an outlap. Next, I think we have one of the other Mercedes, Lucas. Oh, but he's invalidated, so he's trying to get out of the way and get into the pits. So it looks like it's a little bit quiet for the time being, I think. Because I don't really see anybody that's like doing a lap or just trying to do a lap at this moment. Yeah, I think things are a little bit quiet at the moment. Okay, so that's also I didn't catch. Breezy did a 128.8 on the soft, so that currently puts him in third. Honos did a 129.6, so he improved a little bit more on his time. And that also puts him above Shawson as well. So yeah, we have to see 6 cars to do a lap. So next will be making his debut, Easy Hurricane F1 in the Mercedes. And it looks like he might be promising. He's got a purple second sector. I don't know if it'll be the glitch or whatever, because sometimes it doesn't always become accurate when this game says it's a purple second sector. But comes across the line now, and he does a 130.3 above, above his teammate into 7th place. And then we got one of the racing points, Boss Man, who is invalidated right now. And Korab just got invalidated as well. So yet we have to see 5 cars to do a lap on the board. So yeah, pretty much the scenario for Snipper, like I said, he has to like pretty much win or get top 2, pretty much second, and hope for the guys behind him get in the points to at least have a bad race. But that's only mathematically speaking. Now the only way Pecan can actually at least get back somewhat, along with Breezy and Honos, is to get a good result and hope for it to at least be either above Snipper or close to Snipper in terms of the race today to keep the title fight alive. Now, there were other penalties, though, I should also mention. Big Rig, who was Peacon's teammate, received a 5-second penalty for a collision with him, so he stayed in 9th. But he also had a sportsmanship warning for dangerous re-entry on Dreamsy. Imran Thunder had a 5-second time penalty for resetting onto the track. That's also the biggest no-no. You can't do that. So that's pretty much the case. And then Bossman, 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Imran Thunder. So Bossman stays in 12th. Thunder moves down to 6th, but also allows Kill the Birdman to go up to 5th place. But Big Rig, after all those little incidents, stays in 9th after the race from Bahrain. And I think we have more laps that came on the board that I didn't see, but Bossman, 130.5 on the mediums. And looks like Kill the Birdman, 129.4 on the softs. And we have a caution somewhere. Oh, it's one of the Ferraris, Sinister Owl, who has slowed down and let the McLarens go by. Oh yeah, you're probably also wondering where John is. So John is going to be getting ready for the WEC race that's coming up later on tonight. They're doing their sprint race at the Red Bull Ring at Spielberg, Austria. So that will be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to watch that, I'm pretty sure it'll be on the UDL's YouTube channel. I'm streaming this from my channel, but it will be uploaded to the UDL channel once this whole thing is over. But yeah, tune into the UDL WEC sprint race at Spielberg later on tonight. Should be a good one, I think, too. As I got a Big Rig just joined, so he will have to start from the back of the grid. Let's see, I think we have Snipper coming around for another lap, and he improves by a 10th, goes 128.3. I think Peacon did as well. Before that, goes 128.5. And that's pretty much it for the time being. Shawsome looks like he improved up to 4th with a 29.2, so that's a good time there. Puts the Alphas into the 3-4 positions. And I think the next one to do a lap is get that money and run. Never mind, he aborts his lap. Scratch that. And Drew also isn't validated, even though he's also the closest one. I think the next one should be Wade County. Purple second sector, I think that might be a glitch again, but he's doing it on the medium tires, 2 minutes 48, but I'm sure that's going to change as we see him come across the line. I think this will be in the 34s. Yep, 34.0 puts. I think that keeps him where he's at in 13th, right behind Sinister Owl. And Dreamsy looks like he had a bit of a moment at the chicane as well, but I was gonna see what his teammate was doing, but his lap got invalidated. Peacon heads in the pits, and then, let's see, Breezy, I think, will do his lap, as he does not look like he's going to improve yet. Still got 5 minutes still left in the session, and it looks like someone put up a time. I think that was Korab. Yep, Korab, 129.7 on the softs, so that puts him up into 8th place. By the way, nice helmet, by the way. Really blends in with the colors. So right now at this moment, it's Dipper on pole, Peacon in 2nd, Breezy in 3rd, Shawsome in 4th, Kill the Birdman right off the top 5, Lucas in 6th, Hanos in 7th, Korab in 8th, Drew Yu in 9th, and then Dreamsy in 10th. So a couple drivers are doing a little bit of mixed strategies. Most of them are going to the softs from the way it looks. Of course, this track is mostly for a 50% race is a one-stop strategy. It's a soft to medium. It doesn't really have too much effect on the tires, in my opinion, for like the softs. It would feel more of effect if you did like, let's say, a 100% race. But I think for the softs, you can go for 50%. You could go at least 10 or 11 laps, and then you can go to the mediums the rest of the way. It's sort of like Interlagos, because this track does not have any effects of the tires at all. But, and speaking of which, another soft runner coming by, Kill the Birdman. Let's see what he can do, see if he can improve that 129.4. Does he come across the line and improve? He does. Gets above Shawsome with a 129.1. So far, a good, solid performance from Kill the Birdman. And so far, I think he's only had one pole position, if I'm correct, and that was back in Germany. So, definitely improved a lot, I would say, in terms of his quality pace. So, this is really good to see from Kill the Birdman. Next, looks like to be Sinister Owl in the Ferrari. Let's see what he can do, as it looks like he's 3 seconds ahead of his time. As he comes across, 129.2 puts him into 5th ahead of Shawsome, but just below Kill the Birdman for the time being. Next, I think, is a Mercedes. Oh, never mind. Easy Hurricane starting a flyer. Drew doing the same thing. And I think Shawsome also doing the same thing. I think Wayne County is the next one as he goes into pits. Next looks like to be Boss Man. Let's see what he can do as he goes 4th fastest. Gets above Kill the Birdman, 129.0. So far, only 2/10 from Breezy from being in the top 3. And right now we have 2 minutes left in the qualifying session. And I think Money just did a time just now. Yes, he did. 130.0 puts him 11th fastest. So pretty much now we're just going to see everyone get their laps right at the last minute. And let's see. I think Shawsome should be the next one, or Drew Yu actually is the closest. I think Shawsome just got invalidated, did he? Oh no, I think it was someone else. Never mind. All right, Drew Yu down towards 130R. Let's see what he can do. Goes flat out. Of course, the average speed around this track is 135 miles an hour on a dry track. So pretty much we expect to see a lot of rhythm. Oh no! Well, Drew Yu has a bit of a moment. Goes off the track. And that's going to cost him a lot. And Shawsome gets ahead of Birdman with a 129.1. And then Korab and Stipper are about to start their laps along with Honos. As it looks like Bossman, does he? Okay. I always get mixed up whenever I see a car slowing down, whenever I see a caution, if I'm honest. So, I'll take a look at the comment section too in a little bit. I saw a comment just popped up on my screen. And pretty much now we're down to the dying minutes. So pretty much for everyone, this will be their last lap in the qualifying session. Bossman will go into the pits as he invalidated his lap time. And I think Dreamzy is the closest in the McLaren. Of course, McLarens are battling out with Ferrari and Alfa Romeo for the constructors. Let's see what Dreamzy can do as the clock has expired and we see Dreamzy come across the line. What is it? 29.0. So that puts him ahead of Bossman. And I think next looks like to be Easy Hurricane as this lap is invalidated. Drew Yu. Oh, Breezy's gone. He's retired, so he will not improve his time. Drew Yu does not improve. Next is Honos. Does he improve? He does. third fastest. Snipper cracks into the 27s with a 1:27.8. Now, does Pecan have a response for that? As he's coming around 130R. And coming around the final chicane for the final time in this qualifying session. Of course, after this, we will restart and go to a new lobby. And Pecan, come across the line, does not improve, so he will have to stay in second. And I think that will be the end of the qualifying session, unless Money, I was going to say Money if Money has a good time going, but that's not going to happen. So he limps across the line with no fuel. And I think that should be the end of your qualifying session. So Snipper Pig on pole position, like he was last year. This time, instead of the Red Bull, in the Scuderia Ferrari. Pecan will be in second, and then Honos in third place. All right, so let's run down your order one more time. 6/10 separate between Snipper and Pecan. Snipper on pole, Pecan in second, Honos in third, Breezy in fourth, and then Dreamsy in fifth, Bossman in sixth, Sinister Owl in seventh, Shawsome in eighth, Kill the Birdman in ninth, Easy Hurricane in 10th. Good qualifying session for you, getting into 10th. And then Lucas in 11th, Korab in 12th, Get That Money and Run in the 13th, Drew you in 14th, Wake County in 15th, and then Imperial, who did not even set a time at all, I don't think he had a qualifying ban, will start from 16th, but also Big Rig joined as well, so Big Rig will start from the back of the grid. All right, so we will wait until then. Until Pecan gives me the invite to get in, and we already have one of his good friends, Dylan Lewis, saying go Pecan. Good to always see get some support from any of the drivers, of course. So hopefully we won't have to do the case where, if you've watched from last week's race, where we had to restart the lobby, I think 3 times. Because of everyone, not everyone, but some people having internet issues. So we'll see what goes on from there. I think we should be fine because it looked like everything was okay in terms of the internet issue. Now to remind you too, there's also 4 rounds, including this one after this. Because we go into the Americas side of things. First up will be Mexico, the Autodromo Hermano Rodriguez. Then will be the Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. And then the very last race, of course, my personal favorite, Interlagos at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And if you just tuned in, and thank you very much for watching so far in the United Drivers League Season 2. And this is round 15 of the Japanese Grand Prix. So pretty much now I'm just going to be waiting until I get the invite to get into a new lobby from Pecan. I guess while we wait, I guess I could discuss some moments that I've seen before that are had some good, interesting battles, races, etc. from the Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, you remember last year's Japanese Grand Prix. The start of the race, though, was chaotic because if you remember, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, of course, they're like 2 of the biggest upcoming rivals, I would say, but 2 talented drivers, young drivers as well. Charles Leclerc had a clash with Max Verstappen in the first corner, and that also forced him to retire just because he couldn't continue on. Spoon curve, of course, like I said, that's had some moments. Well, with also Max Verstappen again, with yet another Ferrari. This time with Sebastian Vettel. If you remember, Sebastian Vettel won on the inside of Max Verstappen in the spoon curve. That also caused Vettel to spin around and also pretty much destroy his race. And of course the last chicane, like I said, it's had moments, especially if you remember, I think it was 1989 when Senna and Prost had their, of course, their moment where Prost just basically decided to go the inside corner, hit Senna, and that also caused the both of them to retire, and also gave Alain Prost the championship that year. But also the year before that, Ayrton Senna did the same thing, but it was in a different corner. Like I said, it was the corner that Leclerc and Verstappen had that little moment when Senna decided to go in the inside, to dive on the inside of the first corner, and basically run him and Prost off the road, and that also gave Senna the championship that year. So of course, Suzuka is known for a lot of drama and of course a lot of action as well. The thing about the track though, it's mainly just about rhythm. You gotta get good rhythm through the S section because that's the most technical area I would say in the whole circuit. You gotta make sure you have good exit speeds, especially if you go out of the hairpin, spoon curve. Especially spoon curve because that also gives you good rhythm once you get through 130R. And right now I think we're waiting for Big Rig. I think everyone that qualified is on here. But yeah, this is also one of the circuits that is one of the very few, actually, that is a figure 8 circuit as well. And of course, it's about 3.6 miles long. Average speeds, like I said, 135 miles an hour on a dry track. It's very tricky, though, when it's raining because, especially through the S section, because it can be a little bit of like a water slide. You're going to be slipping and sliding a little bit if you don't get any good rhythm through the S's on a wet track. But obviously that's not going to be the case for today. I think it's looking like to be a dry session, and I don't know what we're waiting for exactly. I see some of the drivers still discussing. I don't know if we're waiting for Big Rig, because I saw Big Rig pop up. Okay, there's Lucas. Okay, so Lucas was one of the guys we were missing too. Okay, I didn't catch that. But we are also missing Big Rig, because I saw his name pop up. I know I did. And also, give a little bit of more detail too about F1 2020. That's going to be coming out in a little less than a month. So also so you may have heard they are doing something called it's like a team creator where you can create your own team, but you can also use like any of the drivers for your My Team. For your custom My Team. Like, it's kind of like if you were to do, like, let's say, Ultimate Team from Madden, FIFA, or the My Team from NBA 2K. It's like that version, but in F1. It's pretty interesting. In terms of, like, you can use the driver, whatever drivers you want, and they also give you the overalls of, like, you know, their skills, like their experience, racecraft, awareness, and also their pace. So, like, I'll give you an example. So, like, if I were to choose any of the drivers from McLaren, Carlos Sainz is an 82 overall rating. His experience is 65, racecraft 88, awareness 81, 84, race pace. And then you have Lando Norris, who is a 79, rating, 52 experience, of course, because he has less experience than Carlos Sainz since he's done 1 year of F1 racing. 89 racecraft, 70 awareness, and 80 race pace. And of course, the highest overall would be obviously the Mercedes team, because you got Lewis Hamilton, who is a 94 rating, and then his teammate Valtteri Bottas is a 90 rating as well. But only one above Sebastian Vettel. But Leclerc, though, he's an 86. I'm kind of surprised, because I think he's a little bit better than what he is. I think he would be somewhat close to Sebastian Vettel, because he had a much better season last year than Sebastian Vettel did. Now, also speaking more towards F1, I mentioned about the game going to be coming out on July 10th. You know what's going to come before? Will be the opening rounds of F1. Yes, if you remember, like I was mentioning last week with John, they will be doing the first round in Austria on July 3rd through the 5th. So, yeah, pretty much Australia was going to be the opening race, but due to everything that's been happening with the COVID-19 pandemic, everything got on hold, everything pretty much got into a standstill. So basically, that's what's going on. But for the time being, like I said, there's 8 rounds. The other rounds will be determined once we get more into the season progresses. As it looks like we are getting set and ready to go for the race itself. Let me also know in the comment section who would be your top 3 for today's race. But if I'm going to choose for my prediction for today, I'm going to say Piquon, I think, will win this race, because I know from personal experience that he is really good in Japan in terms of the race. I say second will go to X-Breezy. Third will be Snipper Pig. Looks like we're all ready to go, and yeah, looks like all clear. Let me look at your comments. I think I saw a comment that just popped up. Jeff says Snipper, Snipper, and Snipper. Of course, it's not possible to get all 3 positions. But, of course, that's Jeff, or also known as Intersport. Of course, he'll be racing in the WEC Series tonight for the LMP2 class in the Red Bull Ring. And then MM says, let's go, Wade County. I'm sure he's a good friend of his. And, of course, I think also one of the only drivers that's actually South American. Alright, so it looks like we got everything all ready to go, and we will get the formation lap underway here in Suzuka. So let's go through your grid order one more time, as Snipper Pig is your pole sitter. Piquon in second, and of course Piquon last week got his very first win in Bahrain because of the penalty from Honos. And speaking of Honos, Honos starts behind Piquon in third. X-Breezy will start in fourth with Dreamzy in fifth. Of course, the McLarens want to battle out with the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeos for the constructors, so Dreamzy will start in fifth. Bossman in sixth place alongside Sinister Al. Shawsome will start in eighth with Kill the Birdman behind him. Easy Hurricane on his debut race for Mercedes will start in 10th. Lucas reserved a race span last week. Is back and will race in 11th place. Korab will start in 12th along with Get That Money and Run. Drew Yu who apparently got disqualified from the formation lap, will start in 14. As in Wake County, Imperial will start in 16th, and then Got a Big Rig, who just appeared just now, will start in the bottom of the field. Let me get all the telemetry up for you guys as well. So we have only 4 drivers that are on the medium compound: Lucas, Money, Imperial, and Big Rig. So they're going to try to hope to at least go the distance for a little bit as well. And like I said, the strategy is a soft-medium strategy around Suzuka. It's all about rhythm and flow, and most importantly, technique as well. Mainly just do not rub the curves, otherwise that will spin you out. And also don't rub the grass, because that also will get you as well. As we now have Snipper come around the final corners now, and we will get the race underway from Suzuka. Round 15 of the United Drivers League F1 Season 2 will get underway momentarily. 27 laps around this 3.6 mile circuit. Of course, I have to say it's also one of my favorites as well. I do like Suzuka as well, mostly because of the racing, just absolutely fantastic. As everyone gets to the grid slots now. Snipper in pole, Pecan behind him with Honos in third. Now, if everything goes the way I said about Snipper in terms of the prediction, the scenarios, Snipper could clinch the championship today if Pecan, Breezy, and Honos finish either in the bottom or not in the points at all, and Snipper claiming the first 2 positions. Or one of the first 2. As the lights come on. 5 lights here in Suzuka. And it's lights out, and away we go. Snipper Pig gets a very good start off the line, and looks like Pecan gets a pretty decent start as well. But look at Breezy already in between one of the McLarens. Into the first turn we go. Breezy on the inside, runs on the inside curve a bit. But it looks like everyone got by a little bit just fine. Now, looks like everyone's holding position. Up to the S curves we go. Pecan looks like he had a bit of rhythm, though. Up the S curves, and now we go into Dunlop curve. It looks like someone had hit it. It looks like Lucas already has crashed already in the first 2 corners. But Snipper ahead of Pecan, but Pecan bringing the pressure on Snipper Pig. Right behind him as we go into the end of the Dunlop curve into the first sector. Underneath the bridge we go. It's 2/10 separate between Snipper, Pecan, and then we got Honos right behind him as well. Into the hairpin we go. Pecan right on the back of that Ferrari. And bring the pressure as well. Here comes Pecan, though, on the inside. He is really going to go for it already on the first lap. Into Spoon we go. Goes in the side. Into Spoon. Still wheel to wheel with Snipper Pig, but Pecan gets the better advantage and gets the lead ahead of Snipper Pig. And he leads the Grand Prix, and it looks like a little bit of lag on my screen. I don't know if that's my end or if it's from theirs, but hopefully that's not the case. And Pecan leads the way and will lead the first lap from the way it looks of the Japanese Grand Prix from Snipper Pig, Honos, X Breezy, Dreamzy, and Bossman right behind them. Korab moves up into 10th place, right now battling out with Easy Hurricane, and looks like Drew Yu battling out, bumping tires. Went inside the car somehow, but Korab loses the position. Now here comes Drew Yu on the inside of Easy Hurricane into the first turns we go. It's the Williams of Drew Yu on the inside into the first corners, gets by him, and looks like, I think also, or was that killed? What happened? I thought I saw them drop positions, but okay, never mind. Big Rig and Wake County battling out in the backfield into the S section. It looks like there was contact made between those 2. Wake County, though, gets the best of it. Oh no, and Korab's around! Korab has spun in the S curves. Oh, a big shame there for Korab. He had some moments too from last week's race. He's had another moment again, and now he drops from 12th to the bottom of the field. But Pecan leading the way from Snipper. DRS will be enabled by race control on the 3rd lap. Pecan right now 3/10, now 4/10 separate between him and Snipper Pig. Honos right back behind them, and pretty much the cars are pretty much close to each other from the top 7. Breezy under pressure though from the McLaren of Dreamsy. Now into the chicane we go. Dreamsy looks to go on the inside, does make the move done. Dreamsy gets ahead of him into 4th place. DRS is now going to be enabled as soon as Pecan crosses the line. Fast lap of the race now. No, never mind. Honos gets the fastest lap of the race. DRS is enabled by race control, but it will be enabled mostly once we get into the next lap. So pretty much everyone got by very cleanly, well, for the most part, but some unfortunate incidents, especially for Korab, all the way down into the bottom of the field. But pretty much what this is standing right now, this is going to help McLaren as well, because right now, 3rd and 4th, they could possibly overtake Ferrari and maybe get one step closer to the Alfa Romeos, as currently they're actually right ahead of the Alfas. But speaking of that, Breezy right behind Dreamsy. Going into the hairpin we go. And it looks like Breezy's just holding up at least the position for now. Think just buying his time. And pretty much everyone's just buying the time as well. In terms of ERS management, Pecan has the lowest out of everyone, but the top 5, well, besides Pecan, are at nearly 80% or better right now, as you can see on your screens. Let's see what Snipper does, though, as he's right behind Pecan, 3/10 separate. DRS will be enabled for the Ferrari as we get to the front stretch. Mainly, you want to get a good exit. Once we get into the chicane, we go. Pecan got a pretty good exit there. It looks like DRS is enabled. Oh, Sinner's just gone. He's retired. He's retired already. And oh, wait, did he retire on track? Okay, well, his car pulled over. And looks like a little bit of a scrap. 3 cars involved. Korab, Lucas, and Imperial getting at each other in the chicane. But I think that's a big no-no, though, because if you're going to retire, you want to retire in the pits. I mean, thankfully, Sinister's AI went to the side of the road, but that is a little bit of a no-no. And we have a caution already. Oh, it's Money. I think Money's, yeah, he spun at the Dunlop curve. So Money, unfortunately, has had an incident as well. And oh, it looks like an Imperial's gone off the track in the Dunlop curve. As it looks like Korab and now the Mercedes. Hurricane and Lucas battling out as well. Side-by-side contact made between the 2 Mercedes. Lucas gets ahead of Easy Hurricane. Korab's back to now his original position, but has a lot of ground to make up at least. Meanwhile, we have Big Rig climbing up from starting at 17th, now up into 10th. He's bringing the pressure on Wade County. Going the inside already, riding on board. Well, it was riding on board, now going back on board. As he gets by easily, it looks like, through 130R, gets by and takes away 10th place. Meanwhile, Bossman, fastest lap of the race, goes to him. Currently right along in 6th place, but still in contention with the cars ahead of him. But the top 6 separate from each other. From the car. Oh, Dreamsy had a bit of a moment there. Korab, 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane. I'm sure he's going to go in the hards, try to go for the very end, I think. But Dreamsy bringing the pressure on Dreamsy. From the way it looks, Dreamsy had a little bit of a moment going a bit sideways in the S's. So pretty much, mathematically speaking, if the result holds, Pecan, with him being down by 57 points, will be down by 49 points at this rate. So he would still be in contention for the driver's title. It's pretty much what it looked like from last year's standings, if I'm honest, with the top 2 being Pecan and Snipper, with Snipper leading the way, obviously, in the drivers' championship. But right now, I'd say the constructors is going to McLaren right now at this point. They're above the Alfa Romeos, and also one of the Ferraris just retired, so that also helps them out as well. Snipper, nope, never mind. Honos has the fastest lap of the race. Now, here's the thing, too. Since these cars are so close to each other, will we see the undercut performed early by one of these cars? Like I said, the soft tires can go at least 10 laps, or maybe 11. But the gap between, let's say, from each other is less than a second. So like Snipper, 4 tenths back. Honos, 8 tenths back from, well, now 9 tenths from Snipper. And then Breezy. Well, here comes Breezy. Is he going to go the outside of the hairpin? Breezy hugs the inside corner of the hairpin, but managed to hold on position for now. Breezy, bring the pressure though as we get it towards Spoon Curve. Does he go on the inside? Does he go for it? He's thinking about it, but no, he holds back. But Dreamsy goes wide. I think that's also going to cost him a good exit there. As Dreamsy does hold 4th place, but the pressure's still on for Dreamsy. Dreamsy does have the slipstream to his advantage. And I think Dreamsy is also out of the DRS range from his teammate. Dreamsy holds that inside line. A little bit of a bad exit, though, I would say, from the chicane, but I think Breezy's going to get him this time. DRS enabled now. I think, yep, he's got him this time. On the inside, does he make the move done? Into the inside of the first corner. Does he do it? Yes, he does. Breezy takes 4th place ahead of Dreamsy. But meanwhile, the guys that are battling out for the Drivers' Championship. Pecan still leading the way with Snipper. Only half a second back. Honos in 3rd, and wait, did Easy Hurricane lag out? He must have lagged out because he just joined. Okay. All right, well, at least he got back at least. So right now, the top 3 really, really close. Let me look at your leader interval. Honos is only 1 second behind Pecan, but half a second from Snipper Pig, so he's still within DRS range for the time being. This is going to be really close. I mean, this is pretty much the remake of what we saw from Bahrain in terms of like the positions from last week. Pecan in 1st and Snipper in 2nd and Honos in 3rd. Are we going to see that again? Who knows? We still have at least 11 laps left in this race. Caution, it looks like to be a Mercedes. I think that's Lucas. Taking a moment there with Wake County, I think, or maybe he spun up. I'm not quite entirely sure. Oh, no. Oh, dearie me. Bossman Breezy had an incident in the chicane. Shawsome has the fastest lap. So now Breezy is dropped from being at 4th to 6th place. With apparent incident from Bossman, from what I don't know. I just got to their camera when the yellow flag was out. Now, when are we going to see these guys pit, though, is the question. Are we going to see someone go early and try to hope to get clean air? Because the undercut is pretty good, if you think about it, when you're in Brazil. If you have a lot of clean air and not dealing with any traffic, you will get the undercut to work. Pretty much we will see, I pretty much see the top 3 at least do different strategies, of course. But Dreamsy has dropped all the way down to 2.4 seconds from his teammate. I wonder if he got into an incident as well, because he wasn't that far off from his teammate. He was only 1 second behind him, even after Breezy overtook him on DRS. I think we'll have to look at the footage once we get everything done. So let's see. Everyone stays up for now. I think that's pretty much the smart thing to do for the time being. Snipper again with DRS advantage, but Pecan still maintaining his 1st place. And it looks like we have a scrap between Drew Yu and Lucas in the inside of 130. On the outside is Drew Yu. Holds the position for the time being. Bossman gets ahead of Wayne County up into 11th. So he went to a little bit of the bottom of the field as well. I'm guessing he must have had wing damage, because he's also on the mediums. He's the only one to pit so far. So yeah, he must have suffered some wing damage when that little incident was made in the chicane. Nine laps down, and we'll see if anyone can at least go to the pits. Pretty much right now, everyone's just buying their time, being patient. Snipper doing that along with Honos. Sorry about that. My controller died. My apologies. Let me fix the audio real quick. Sorry about that. There we go. Sorry. Otherwise, I would have gone on the TV or amplifier for my output settings. But pretty much everyone just buying their positions, and Snipper is the first to crack into the pits. So he's going to try to go for the undercut and hopefully get some clean air. On go the medium tires for the Ferrari. Pecan still maintains his lead. Honos in second place now. Dreamsy moves up into third. And then Shawsome ahead of Snipper. And I think Breezy just gone to the pits as well, so he will fit on the medium compound as well. Now Snipper, we will have clean air though, as he is far behind Kill the Birdman. And Lucas is gone. He's retired. Oh my goodness. In the chicane. 3 cars involved with Wayne County and I think Bossman again. And that's brought out a VSC. Oh, this might play into Snipper's hands. This might have play into Snipper's hands because now they have to reduce their pace. The guys in front of him. Because, of course, in VSC, you have to stay within the delta and obviously decrease your speed by 40%. Let's see. Snipper currently is at the bridge. I think this may play into his hands with that VSC. But we'll have to see how the undercut works for him. It's taking a while for the VSC to go, but maybe it might play into Pecan if this goes. Actually, no. Green flag is now back out, and we are back under racing conditions. So Pecan, I think, will he crack into the pits? Yes, he does. He does crack into the pits. Honos does as well, falls behind him. Dreamsy stays out and will take the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. But now, where will Snipper come out, though? Will he come out in front of Pecan, or will he be behind him because of the VSC? And I think this may have played into his hand, but we'll see. Pecan out of the pit exit and close to the pit, well, pit box, coming towards the pit exit now. Snipper on the front stretch. And no, the undercut does not work. Pecan stays well ahead of Snipper Pig, and so does Honos. But the undercut does work for Honos, and Honos is ahead of Snipper Pig. So this played more into Honos getting second place from the way it looks, as Pecan retains, well, pretty much penultimate first place. So now when is Dreamsy is yet to pit, same with Shawsome. So at this rate, I think this could be Pecan in first, Honos in second. Oh wait, there's a caution somewhere in the second sector. I can't tell. Okay, must have been a glitch. Of course, Codemasters. Alright, so I think Dreamsy will go into the pits now. As you can see, the cars on your map are coming around Spoon. As, yep, Dreamsy will go into the pits now. Shawsome follows suit, and Pecan is at the chicane. So from the way it looks, Pecan will get back the race lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. So Dreamsy trying to come out of the pits, and he will go into, looks like, fourth place. So he will stay in fourth, but Honos in second. Pecan right now retaining first place of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, Easy Hurricane just left the session. Ooh. Hopefully he comes back soon. So far, I'm only seeing 3 cars on the hards, and pretty much Korab is the only one, along with Imperial, on the softs. I think Wayne County just got out of the pit. He must have had wing damage too, so he was in there for, looks like, for quite some time. So pretty much what I'm gonna be seeing, what looks like, is pretty much everyone just being patient from the top 3. But the main thing, obviously, is to not make any mistakes at all. So Snipper right now, he's currently within the DRS range, only 8/10 back from Honos. Dreamsy is looking like to hold on 4th for the time being, unless Shawsome can outpace him. But it looks like for the moment they actually are in much even pace. So DRS enabled. Honos sets the fastest lap, so he's looking like to be the fastest car out there right now, as he still rides behind Pecan. And Snipper still rides behind Honos in 3rd. And pretty much I think that's the only battles that we have so far, is just the top 3 between Honos, Pecan, and Snipper. So pretty much what we're seeing right now is just the reverse of the podium from last week. But the live standings, so since Snipper right now is in 3rd, he would get 15 points. Oh my. There's a lot of glitch on my screen. I hope that's not affecting everyone else. Or unless it's just my end, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, my internet's fine. But let's see. So Pecan right now would have 25 points, obviously, because he is in 1st. Honos would get the fastest lap in 2nd, so he would get 19. Snipper would get 15. So the live standings would be, so the gap would be now, if my math is correct, 47 points would be the gap now between Pecan and Snipper. And Dreamsy comes back with a statement with the fastest lap of the race, 131.5 on the medium tires, of course. So it transfers from one McLaren to the other. And of course, like I said, later on tonight will be the UDL WEC series in the Red Bull Ring. This will be the sprint race. I'm not sure how much time it would be. I think the sprint races for WEC for us, I think, is 1 hour 15, maybe 1 hour 30. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. But anyway, that will be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, Pacific. Reverse that what I said. 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it'll be on the UDL channel, I would assume. Of course, I'm streaming this from my personal channel, but it will be uploaded to the UDL channel, like I said earlier in the broadcast, once everything is over. But, oh no, so it looks like he's increased a little bit on Pecan. Oh, Pecan got a little bit of moment there. Caution in Sector 2. Oh, dear. It's Wade County. Wade County has spun it near the Dunlop curve. So I think he's got very severe wing damage. He has to go back to the pits again. Dearing me, so that's a very unfortunate race for Wade County. Pretty much nothing has really changed for the time being, ever since we had the oldest incidents cleared up. The only drivers that have been DNF'd is Lucas and Sinister Owl. are your current drivers that have DNF'd in this race. A little bit of a bad exit there from Honos, but he has increased the gap slightly. 3/10 now separated between him and Pecan, so he is getting much, much closer. And I think Pecan might be feeling that pressure too. ERS management right now is looking different too. Honos 68%, Pecan 39%. So of course he's trying to push just to build that gap as much as he can on the straight. As you can see, build at least nearly 2/10 out of that straight from pushing it. Honos just pretty much biding his time, just waiting for the right moment to push. And of course Sniffer doing exactly the same thing. And yeah, the next races after this will be Mexico at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. Then the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas in the Circuit of the Americas. And then finally, the final race, Interlagos at the Autodromo Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo, Brazil for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And of course, that'll be right here on the UDL. Well, even though it's not here on the UDL channel, but it will be on the UDL channel regardless. And it looks like one of the lap cars got by. Let Pecan go by, as it was easy hurricane lane by Pecan and the rest of the guys behind him. But I'm thinking from the way it looks, I think the title fight for drivers could possibly see it either ended in the Circuit of the Americas, or we will wait until we get to Interlagos. Of course, Interlagos has had some famous last races, of course. Who wouldn't forget 2012, 2018, 2019. And of course, I think my favorite moment from that race was Ayrton Senna's very first win in his home track in 1991. And of course, with the most bone-chilling radio transmission I've ever heard in motorsport too. Where he was just screaming out of the top of his lungs. Caution in Sector 3. I can't see anyone who had an incident. Oh, that brought out a VSC. Oh, I think I found out who it is. It's Birdman. So he crashed into the chicane. That's brought out our second VSC of the race. So of course, everyone has to maintain their pace, stay within the delta. Right now we have 11 laps to go until we get to the checkered flag. So Big Rig and Birdman going to the pits, and that was a little bit of a long way there from Birdman. I would assume he would have gone out even after the wing change. Breezy gets by, looks like one of the Renaults. And we are also back under green flag conditions. But Snipper Pig, after that VSC, has closed a little bit more now to Honos. But I think also right now he's also buying his time as he's just waiting. But pretty much right now, Pecan has led almost the majority of the race from the way it has looked. I think he's led at least 16 out of the 18 laps we've had in this Japanese Grand Prix. And of course, if this stays in line, Pecan will be in line for his second win of the season and also his second win in a row if the result holds. But we still have a lot of lap racing to go still here at Suzuka. And I think if I were to do a live standings of the constructors right now as I speak, I think obviously from the way it looks, McLaren would overtake Ferrari, and I think the McLarens would be somewhere down by probably less than 10 points of the constructors. But of course, we'll see what the standings are once we get to the next race. But I think if I were to do my live standings now, I think that's where everyone stands. So right now the running order is still Pecan leading the way, Honos in second, Snipper Pig in third, Dreamsy in fourth, Shawsome in fifth, the next Breezy in sixth, Big Rig in seventh, who's actually climbed from 17th to 10th, 17th to 7th. So far, a pretty solid race from Big Rig, climbing up 10 positions. Looks like Honos got a little bit closer, though. I think Pecan may have made a slight mistake in one of the first two corners. Breezy just got by his teammate, and Breezy is up into 5th place. A little bit of grass up there from Honos there as well, but Snipper, I think, got a little bit of a momentum there after that little mow there from Honos, as he also went on the grass as well. Oh my gosh, what is going on my screen? Like, there's a lot of lag going on. I mean, I hope it's just, I don't know if it's my end or if it's just everybody's. But I've been noticing that for a little bit for almost the majority of the race. Hopefully it's not my internet, because my internet's fine, like I said. The gap has just pretty much just stayed the same from the way it looks ever since their pit stops, too. Nothing's changed from Pecan's interval. Nothing has changed from Honos. Nothing has changed from Snipper. But Snipper has gone a little bit closer, though. But does he go for it? From the way it looks, I don't think so. Not quite yet. He'll just stay behind the McLaren for now. Of course, they're probably going to do it, obviously, once we get to the last couple laps of the race. That's when everything's going to really get interesting. But yeah, so far it looks like good rhythm mostly from the top three. They've made not too many errors, but I think Honos made some slight errors because he's down 6/10 now from Pecan. The gap's pretty much been 5 or 4 tenths for at least the majority of the second stint. Not bad exit though from Honos. He did get a little bit of a tilt there on the gap. That's now half a second behind Pecan. And it looks like we got Kill the Birdman on the outside of Get That Money and Run. And all money's gone. He spun. I couldn't tell if it was a bit of a closed door from Birdman at turn 2 from the camera angle I was using, but I think the series will have to take a look at that. Because I think, at least to my judgment, I don't think Birdman gave him enough space, but two cars don't really go into that corner in the majority of the time, like I could say from early in the broadcast when I mentioned about Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen from last year's race. Honos has dropped dramatically though now, out of that straight into the first 2 turns, as Snipper has now gone much closer to Honos. So I'm wondering if he made a little slight mistake though when they went through the first 2 corners. And he's still within DRS range, so he's technically not out of it yet. He just has to mostly what Honos has to do is just stay within the DRS range of Pecan. That's the only way he's going to at least try to get the win if he can. Oh, caution. What's going on? Oh, Shawsome. Shawsome has lost it in the gravel, and he's lost a lot of ground as well from Breezy. So he must have gone wide before the bridge. And we have a caution as well, and it is Wade County again with another incident at the same area that Shawsome spun around. And he also has wing damage again, so it's been a really rough day for the Renaults. Pecan had a much better exit though than Honos, but Honos still has DRS. Wake County has retired from the race. Oh, I don't know if he... Oh, did he... He did not retire in the pits, did he? Oh, no, he did not. Yeah, I think that will have to be taken a look at as well, because you're supposed to retire in the pits even if you have a disappointing race. Yeah, we still have a caution in Sector 2. So that's now 3 cars gone. Okay, so the AI car did pull into the marshal post, so at least that's good. But the thing is, though, when that happens, that's not really the majority of the case in this game. Because when you retire your car on track, your car stays on the track. And if it's not ghosted, well, that's also another problem. But I think that's not an issue, so thankfully, that's not the case. I'm still getting that little bit of glitch again. Yeah, see? Like, right? Like, I don't know what's going on there. It's like, I feel like I've been having a little bit of a glitch or something going on my screen. Oh, dear. Okay, so Hono still maintains the gap that he's been having with Pecan for a bit. We're now at lap 23. Oh, dear. Yeah, this is not good at all. I don't know why that's glitching like that. But yeah, right now we have 5 laps to go, but Pecan's still maintaining that lead and has led almost the majority of the race, like I said. Jeez, what is going on with my screen? I don't know if that's the same as you guys then on watching it on YouTube, but like I'm having a lot of issues, apparently. Oh no! Oh my goodness, Pecan just left the session. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, that is so disappointing. Now Pecan's on AI, and now Snipper has to try to get by him. Honos just got by Pecan, and I think it's more than a second, maybe. They're still wheel to wheel with the he's still wheel to wheel with the AI car. Okay, it's half a second. So Snipper's still in contention. Oh dear. Pecan just joined. Oh no. He was leading almost the entire race. Oh, it is even worse. He's in the pits. He's gonna lose positions because of that. Oh dearie me. Oh dear, that is horrible. Okay, well, hopefully he can at least try to maintain his ground. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. He's gonna have to go into 6. So he will get at least 8 points, but I think he will still be in contention for the championship. But oh gosh. That's so heartbreaking. He led almost every single lap. Almost every single lap. Oh, shoot. But the McLarens are now 1 and 3. So this definitely looks good for the constructor side. But the gap now, 1.5 seconds between Honos and Snipper Pig. Oh dear. Oh dear, that is so heartbreaking. Yeah, even his friend can't even believe it either in the comment section. So Honos right now is your race leader of the Japanese Grand Prix. And Nick says, it looks like a lot of dudes have had lag issues. Yeah, I've been wondering, like, I don't know if it's just from me or from them, but, oh, we have a caution in sector 1. Oh, dear. Korab has had another incident again. Oh, dear. So he's had a pretty rough race himself. But now we're at 3 laps left of the race. Right now, 1.1 seconds separate between Snipper and Dreamzy. So, from the way it looks, though, I think Dreamzy's starting to push a little bit, but he needs to maintain his ERS. But Snipper is in the same boat as well, like him. 1.1 seconds now. 1.6 seconds separate between Honos and Snipper. So right now, as it stands, Honos would be in line for his 3rd race win. So pretty much this redemption from the way it looks from Bahrain after dealing with a 3-second penalty for swerving. So far, it looks like he's raced it clean so far on my end. Two laps to go now. Honos still is your race leader. Korab's gone. He's retired. Oh, he retired in the pits. Okay, so Korab is retired from the pits. But yeah, not a very good day from the Racing Point driver at all. But the only thing that Dreamzy could do if he wants to catch up to Snipper Pig, obviously, is to get good rhythm and also try to get into the DRS range if he could possibly can with the final lap. He cut that corner really badly there, but he's close. Now he's in DRS range. Now he has to stay there if he wants to make a McLaren 1-2. Of course, if that happens, this will be the first time in UDL history that we've ever had a team in general be in 1-2 positions. Right now has a 2-second gap separate between him and Snipper, but Dreamzy has closed in a little bit now, and I think he will get DRS once the final lap starts. Now he's gotten much, much closer. 3/10 out of that. DRS is enabled, but his ERS is completely depleted, too. But can that straight line speed actually help him out a little bit? This will be a close race. Final lap right now of the Japanese Grand Prix. Snipper Pig right now is holding off in 2nd place. Honos still in line to win his 3rd win in UDL 2nd season. The gap right now, half a second. Pecan does get the fastest lap, so at least it'll help him out in the points. I think right now at this moment, I think Snipper Pig will have to wait another time to at least try to claim the Drivers' Championship. And let's see, Dreamzy right behind Snipper. We'll see what happens when we get into the Spoon Curve. Of course, if you want to get the momentum going, you need to get a good exit around Spoon Curve. Almost 2 seconds from Snipper, so looks like no issues for him so far. As they go around Spoon, I think Snipper has a better exit than Dreamzy did. Snipper, oh, a little bit of moment on the grass, but it's still not over yet. Half a second, now the gap is closed. It's closing more and more. Here we go towards the chicane. Will Dreamzy go for it? No, he does not. He stays behind him. Will he get a good exit? I think he'll hold in line. Honos will come across the line to win the Japanese Grand Prix. Snipper finishes in 2nd and Dreamzy in 3rd. A great day for McLaren. And that also will help him in the Constructors as well. Breezy and Chaucer will come around in 4th and 5th with Pecan behind them in 6th. But Pecan will get the fastest lap. But oh dear, that is heartbreaking. He had that race win too. And I think the championship fight lives another day. think Big Rig will come across, and he will finish in 7th place. Boss Man battle out with Kill the Birdman for 8th, but I think Boss Man will hold off for 8th place, and Kill the Birdman will finish in 9th. Money will be the last of the point runners to finish in 10th place. Drew Yu in 11th, and then Easy Hurricane on his debut will finish in 13th place. But this is redemption for Honos from Bahrain after dealing with a 3-second time penalty that cost him the win. This time, no issues today, and he wins for the 3rd time in the 2nd season of the UDL. Big congratulations to Honos, Snipper, and Dreamzy. And like I said, this will definitely help for McLaren as well in the constructor side of things. So pretty much the tile fights for both the drivers and constructors continue, with 3 more rounds left: Mexico, USA, and Brazil. But today, it's celebration for the McLaren camp. 1 and 3. Round off the order one more time. Honos is your race winner with Snipper Pig in 2nd, Dreamzy in 3rd, Breezy in 4th, and Shawsome in 5th. Pecan finishes off in 6th. Big Rig finishes off in 7th. Bossman in 8th. Birdman in 9th. Money in 10th. Drew Yu in 11th. Imperial in 12th. Easy Hurricane in 13th. Korab in 14th. Wake County in 15th. And Lucas in 16th. Cincel rounds it off the rest, as the last 4 cars were the cars that did not finish. I'm pretty sure I thought I mentioned you, Imperial. I'm sorry. I ran through the order one more time. Oh, sorry, dude. But I'm sorry if I didn't. Oh, well, never mind. You retracted your comment. But anyway, that I think will wrap up the 15th round of the Japanese Grand Prix. Next week, we move on to Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix in Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, as tile fights for both Constructors and Drivers Championship will continue. My name is Racer X. Take care and have a great rest of your day. And be sure to tune in, I think, on the UDL channel for the UDL WEC series in the Red Bull Ring, as that will get started in about a half hour from now. Take care. Have a great rest of your night.